Are you kidding me? 5 years probation? That's what Derrick Callella got. Now, there's been some debate as to whether it's 5 years for each count, so 5 and 5, 10. I don't think it's that though. I think it's combined. So it's 5 years total. And don't get me wrong, probation is not easy, all right? Probation and parole costs. You have to pay when you're on those things. Just like if you have the ankle bracelet, that's not free. You have to pay like $1,000 a month to wear, to have the privilege of wearing that ankle bracelet. If not, you gotta go serve time in jail until your trial comes up or whatever, right? So probation is for when you're convicted but you didn't serve any time. Parole is when you're convicted and serve time and they let you out early. All right? So that's the difference. So they're giving him 5 years probation. Isn't it very convenient for him to show up with his lawyer to court on the 2nd, a couple days ago? I didn't read on this right away because I didn't know how I felt about it, right? Isn't it convenient for him to show up and for his lawyer to say, oh, he took meth a couple days ago? Don't we keep getting the addiction card in the Miss Nancy Reads, and I don't know who the addicted person was, right? So I'm gonna ask if Derrick Callella is involved in this kidnapping or this abduction at all. That's what I'm gonna ask. Going into it, I feel like he is. Honestly though, I look at every little word, and so I never felt that Derrick would be convicted of requesting a ransom. But he took a plea, so he's convicted of the fake ransom, right? Because I don't really think it was a ransom thing that he was asking for. Listen to what he said. We're waiting for the Bitcoin on our end, something to that degree. Or I'm waiting for the Bitcoin on my end. I'm like, that didn't say I have your mom or your mother-in-law or your grandma or whatever send Bitcoin now or else. That didn't say that. That's what a true ransom request would say, right? So I always felt like there was a thin line. They're saying that he just inserted himself into the mix. He's from California. That he just found their number online. Although, hey, you're gonna go inside. She likes to harass that dog next door. Although, I think it's been shown that Derrick and Tomasso played at the same Club Congress. And they might have even played in the same band. Early Black or something like that. I don't know. I think they know each other. So 5 cards is Derrick. Let me make sure you can see. Can you see the cards? Oh, the camera's kind of a little bit too close today, guys. Put it right on the edge. Maybe I'll get up and pull the camera back a little bit. My husband's making the breakfast. It's the 4th of July. Today marks 24 years since we lost my uncle. And he was in the army, guys. Sergeant Leslie Victor Gomez, 507th Division or whatever they call it. He served his 20 years, 10 of Pentacles. He asked for Bitcoins. Them are coins, right? He asked for Bitcoins. Oh, what we don't see coming, and you're going to have to remind me to read this. I don't know how you're going to do it because you're not here with me. I'm not live. 8 of Pentacles. Pentacles again, skill building, dedication, hard work. Was he the porch guy? Because if he's addicted, that porch guy kind of acted addicted, right? 3 of Swords. Heartbreak, sorrow, loss, betrayal, grief. This is probably what his parents feel. His parents didn't give no shine to that lady Monica from KVOA or whatever over there in Tucson. But the mom did speak to Sleuth Intuition when he asked what, if they had anything to say to the Guthrie family. And she said, hopefully everybody can get help or something like that because the son has to go to rehab. I said, no. I'm going to start singing the songs that play in my brain whenever I'm reading these cards. The crazy dog's over there in the dog water bowl just splashing her face. Wheel of Fortune. Fate, good fortune, turning point. Maybe this is his turning point. I mean, especially if he really didn't have anything to do with this abduction and he just inserted himself because he's stoned or whatever. Maybe this is his turning point. The question is he involved? The Knight of Cups. He knows Tomasso. You guys know why I gave Tomasso the Knight of Cups, right? Romantic, charming, imaginative, artistic. I feel like I don't know Tomasso, but this is the vibe that he exudes to me. That he's probably very charming, very romantic. I mean, they're both poets. A lot of people are making flowers on my nail because I just did some floor tortillas. Let's read this before I forget. Temperance. They did give him, they balanced it out for him. Kind of like, you better go to rehab or else. and 5 years probation, I don't think he's gonna make it. I don't think he's gonna make it. This doesn't tell me definitively if he was involved in this crime, honestly, and I'm not trying to like waffle. So we're gonna pull Lenormand. It's already shuffled, and I'm gonna put Derrick in the middle, and we're gonna ask the same question, okay? So, man, I hope you guys can see. I think you're seeing it. This is my hand right here. Okay, right here. Yeah, I don't want to get up and move the camera, but I might have to. So what are you guys gonna be doing for the 4th? This is my least favorite holiday. I hate the firecrackers because of the dog. I lost my uncle on this day. Here comes the man. Before him is the woman. Before that is the child. Oh, what does it mean, Basil? After him is the fish, and then the birds. The child is about a young energy, right? Does he act like a child when he's high? The woman could be his mom. His mom and dad seems like lovely people. They're probably wondering, what the hell wrong with our son? The man is Derrick, right? We'll put him in the middle. I think they threw something in the trash. The fish is about the money. He just wanted that money. This is the feeling I got originally about Derrick, right? And then the birds is about chatter, right? Information. Let's look up the birds. Where's my book? The birds is number 12, and it's about gossip, communication, social media. He said he found their number online, but I think he had their number. If he's involved in this case, guys, he's involved peripherally. He probably didn't actually go do the physical kidnapping, and I don't think he's the porch guy, even though his eyebrows kind of line up. You know, they said the porch person had the balaclava on. I was going to say baklava. The balaclava on, and I feel like it cut off some of the porch girl or boy's eyebrows. I need a new sliding glass door. You hear how noisy it is? Yeah, so oh, since I brought my cheat sheet, let's look up some of these cards before we close off this part of the read. I'm trying not to have to let the battery die. I'm going to keep charging the battery in the camera because the little thing that releases the battery is wonky, and if it goes out, I won't have a camera, okay? So the 10 of Pentacles says wealth, stability, long-term success, inheritance, love, family. Okay, so his family loves him, I'm sure. The 8 of Pentacles is about diligence, passion, hard work, mastery, talents, apprenticeship. Well, he's in a band, right? The 3 of Swords is about heartbreak, betrayal, suffering, grief, divorce, loss, depression, sorrow, disloyalty, delays, confusion. Drugs will do that to you. And then Major Arcana card. No, we don't have 2 minutes. The other one is the Knight of Cups. And you know I say that is Tomasso. And that is about imagination, creativity, romantic, charming, proposal. So did somebody come to him with a proposal to be a part of this foolishness? Okay, Wheel of Fortune, 10. And that's about good fortune, good luck, destiny, turning point, change, karma, lifestyle changes. The rehab might help this fool. I hope so, because as a mom, I just told you I haven't seen houseflies in a while. Look, as I'm separating the card, the addiction card came up. They said he's an addict. He says he's an addict. And look what came. Justice. What do you guys think? Tell me, what do you think? I still kind of think he's involved somehow, but maybe not a major player in the thingy, right? Maybe just a minor player. I'm going to get up and move the camera back a little bit, okay? That seems a little bit better, guys. So, my outfit, I just made it. I can make these at the drop of a hat. I put some cuff on this one because the fabric wasn't long enough for the sleeves, but I do have a hat from the original. I have a top like this with just this fabric, so I had put blue on this side. So I went and bought another blue because the other blue one that I wore before is getting ratty looking and stained up and stuff. So I bought this one, so now it goes with the hat. But I just brought the hat to bring my cards out. I'm not gonna wear it, it's not too hot yet. So the next question that I want to ask, so what did we summarize about Derrick? I think he's involved, but peripherally. I think he's been addicted forever. And I hope that rehab helps him. And especially if he's not involved in this and he just inserted himself like a fool, I hope that rehab helps him for the sake of his parents and the sake of himself, right? I want to ask then, since we're not 200% sure if he's involved. Let me rest my eyes a little bit. I'm squinting. You know, that's how you get cataracts, right? because of the sun and how it reflects off of the ground. Always wear sunglasses when you're out. You know, people put on sunscreen, but they don't put on sunglasses most of the time, right? I have a lot of sunglasses, like 3 or 4, and they're all prescription. So anywho, let's find out, as we're gonna ask, was it more than one person that did this abduction / kidnapping? I think the camera moved a little bit when I went that way, but it's okay. Was it more than one? Are the cards gonna tell us that? Was it more than one? So let's pull the first card. And I showed the one that was hidden under the deck, right? Did I? You guys, I can't remember if I did. Oh Lord. Why do I keep forgetting that one if I forgot it? If I did, when I'm doing the editing, I'll pull it out and show you. But I don't think I did. I don't think I did. But we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's one too many. Let's hold it just in case. Hidden underneath the deck. Okay? I still like to do it last. I don't like to do it first. The world. Completion, fulfillment, travel. What do we get for the world? In my cheat sheet. Victory is yours. Success guaranteed. Completion, accomplishment, fulfillment, travel. Who's traveling? Who's traveling? 4 of Cups, apathy, boredom, disconnected. Whoever did this was like freaking out of it. Like, damn, I don't want to do this no more though. This is too much work. The Empress. Miss Nancy, what you have to tell us? If you followed me for any length of time, you know that I've given the card, the Empress and the 8 of Swords, to Miss Nancy. She popped up right here in the middle. The Tower, collapse, upheaval, chaos. Well, we know there was some type of upheaval, chaos, collapse, sudden change. Okay, we already know that. What you trying to tell us? 2 of Pentacles, balancing, multitasking, at least 2. I asked if there were more than 1. They say at least 2. The cards say at least 2. And remember, the cards are only a tool. Okay? It's like a carpenter using a hammer. The cards are only a tool. I'm going off of my intuition. And I've always been told that I have great intuition, great discernment. When I used to study under this prophetess that I know, she went so far as to say, you have the gift of prophecy. I don't know about all that. I really feel like all these things came down from my mom and maybe even from several ancestors above, which I wish I could know more about their personalities, right? But my mom was born with a call, or en call. In America, they say en call. In Belize, they say with a call. And that's usually when a baby is born, like fully engulfed in the sac, because the sac has to break first when the baby is being delivered, right? Or the doctor will break the sac, like they did with my second child. When my mom was born, the sac broke, but a big piece was covering her face, stifling her, so the midwife had to pull that off. And they're like, oh my God, this baby's gonna be special, you know, yada, yada, yada. I really feel like my mom had a great gift of intuition. And so much so that my dad, even though my dad is mathematical minded and stuff like that, he believed in her talents to the point that he would say, I wouldn't go there. If your mother said no, I wouldn't go. She's not been wrong yet. You know, he really believed in her gifts. And I feel like that gift was passed down to my sister and me for sure. I don't know about my 2 brothers. But my sister's a dreamer. And she'll dream stuff that will scare her. I'm like, oh God, don't call me again with another dream. Queen of Pentacles, nurturing, resourceful, practical. I don't know who that is in the mix. But I guess there's another woman in there, because this is not Annie, this is not Savannah. And then this is what I picked extra. Ambitions, the assertive, driven to succeed. I think at least 2, maybe as much as 3 from the cards. From my intuition, I'm going to say 5, up to 5. That's my intuition, okay? Remember, Tarot, Lenormand, Oracle cards are for entertainment purposes only. And if I tell you these are only cards, it's because I live in California, guys. There are strict rules about this stuff. There's no way for me to know for sure what happened with this lady. There's hopes and dreams that I have for her. You know, I hope that she's still alive. I hope that she's okay. And honestly, I believe so much that she's alive that if it turns out that she's dead, I'd be shocked. But if it turns out that she is alive, I wouldn't be shocked, you know? And I remember when I was the only one saying that she was alive. I looked at all the different card readers and the sleuths and stuff, and the FBI retired this, retired that. Everybody says she's dead. And I would say a good 85% of them are still saying that she's gone. But there's a good 15% now saying, I wonder if they have her hidden somewhere and just not telling us. I don't think they have to tell us if she's alive, but I think they have to tell us if she's dead. I'm not 100% sure on that either, okay? Yeah, so that's where my gifts come from. And I'm not calling it psychic ability. I wish that I could do remote viewing, but I think there's more to it than just closing your eyes and seeing what pictures come. Although that guy Cash Peters on the internet, you know, he sees pictures and he draws it. They're not always accurate, of course, but sometimes they are. They're definitely interesting. So, but I find it very interesting that Miss Nancy's been missing close to 160 days, and I've closed my eyes every day to ask to show me something on her, and I've only seen things like 5 times. So I think that's something that's notable, right? It's not like I see something all the time, right? Yeah, so I'm definitely going to look into remote viewing, and I'm building my little charm kit. I have like 5 charms in the kit already. All right, so let's ask for the encore or the gush, the extra that I do every time I end a video. For the people that are new, I'll end the video by saying, or putting the graphic that says thank you for subscribing. And then I come back and I give you extra information, or I give you a joke if something was funny or something that I forgot, or like if I didn't read the first part of that darn thing, if I don't pop in the middle of it and go, oh, this is the card that came underneath it all. I can't remember if I read it. And I promised myself I would remember. So what are we going to ask for the gush? We already asked if Derrick was involved. We asked if there was more than one person's involved. Oh, thank you, Holy Ghost. I know what I want to ask. Where is Annie and Tomasso? They've been missing from their house. The neighbors said they haven't been there in over a month. People are suspecting that they're in Italy. They've traveled, right? That's where Tomasso's from. You know, people are reading, I was saying earlier, people are reading a lot into the poetry that they write. I don't read anything into the poetry. I used to write poems when I was little, and I didn't like the sappy, sweet poems. I like the dramatical type things too. I don't read a lot into the music they play. That's just artists expressing their art, you know? When I first came to America, I was in, I think they finally bumped me into 12th grade because they kept me in 11th grade like a month. Then they bumped me into 12th grade. I left Belize in 11th grade, by the way. So they said, finish the story. And this lady was hitchhiking. That's the first part of the story. So I did a thing where they came on alive and dismembered. And they called my mom. They're like, oh my God, something's wrong with her. My mom goes, that's her. I tell them that's what's going to happen to them if they ever get in somebody's stranger car. So that's what she wrote. She wrote what she knew, right? So I don't put any stock into any of that mess. You know, I still feel like if A and T are involved, they were instructed to be involved. I'm going to split the deck because I see some card readers split the deck and read the 2 bottom, 9 of Pentacles and the Moon. All right. So now I'm going to cut it. And we're going to ask the question, wherefore art thou, Annie and Tomasso? I don't know that tarot will say where. Maybe Lenormand will. But let's pull tarot, 5 cards. Where is Annie and Tomasso? Are they on vacation? Are they on vacation? Some people even inferred that they might be already arrested. Da, da, da. We might could pull Lenormand twice to ask this question. Hidden underneath the deck. Remind me to read it. 3 of Pentacles. They're collaborating together. Well, it's them and their son. Who are they collaborating with? The sister and the brother? 7 of Cups. We used to get this a lot in the Miss Nancy reads. Illusions, delusions, many choices. Let's look at the extended version of this. The 7 of Cups is about too many choices, commitment issues, daydreaming. And the 3 of Pentacles is about teamwork, collaboration, skill, quality, craftsmanship, long-term rewards. The 3 of Wands, they're, ooh, okay. I don't think they're locked up. They're expanding their view. It's like, ooh, when we get our money, we're going to do this, 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 and this. The 3 of Wands is about preparation, progress, foresight, moving forward. They're moving forward. You're like, Derrick done got sentenced. He didn't spill no tea. They're moving to calmer waters. Departure, moving to calmer waters. Are they going to move to Italy? Huh? The 6 of Swords is about release, baggage, transition, moving to calmer waters. I could see why my friend Julie said this could be death sometimes because it's transition. The 8 of Wands, whatever the hell is happening with them is going to go fast. Speed, momentum. Let's see the 8 of Wands. Oh. It's about action, speed, movement, swift change, results, air travel. They're in Italy. They're not locked up. The Knight of Wands, passion, bold, adventure, daring, swift. Let us ask Lenormand. We're going to put the ship for travel. Are they traveling? And then we're going to pull another 5-carder for Lenormand and ask, are they in jail? We're going to pull a tower for that. I feel like they're traveling. You know, school's out. Maybe they're on vacation with the kids. All right, so we're going to look for the ship. And here comes the ship on the 3rd card. And the 2nd card is Le Sun. And then the 1st card is the book. My stomach's crying because I'm hungry. And then the whip, suffering and pain. And then I think that's the stars. Let's look it up. That's why I want my own Lenormand deck, because I won't have to guess what the heck it is. All right, so this 26, the book is about secrets, learning, unknown, the occult, wisdom. The sun is about confident, illumination, victory. The ship is about the traveling. The whip is about pain and suffering, but we can look it up. It's about arguments, anger, rough sex, pain, or a clever male. And then the stars is about hopes, dreams, guidance, vision, and the internet. If they're not involved in this, I feel sorry for Tomasso, because he can't even go back and teach. You know? Can't even go back and teach. And teachers with a master at the low end of the totem pole make about $68,000 to $72,000 a year in California. That's after taxes and the money that they take out for the summer pay and stuff. That's around $5,500 bring home. So how are they affording that house? You know, and I don't know that he has a master's. Let me hurry up, guys. I was going to pull Lenormand again to find out if they're in jail, but I don't think they are, but we'll still pull it because I said I would. Yeah, so for the 4th today, a friend was supposed to come because she was going to be near my town, but her husband got word that he has to work. He has to finish a job that he started, a project, and he can't call off for the 4th of July, so they can't come. And I made a lot of food, but some of it will keep, and especially if they can try to come tomorrow. If the job ends tonight, they'll come tomorrow, so we'll have some left. Okay, look at this. The scythe is about cutting away abruptly. Remember, we got the 8 of Wands. Whatever happens is going to happen abruptly. There's going to be some delays though. The mountain. And then this is the jail or the prison. The heart is about love, right? And the moon is about intuition. Let's look it up. Sometimes I mix up the meanings of Lenormand with tarot. So the scythe is about cutting, removal, harvest, surgery, quick ends. But then you have, it's followed by the mountain, which is about blocks or delayed. So that's kind of confusing to me. Procrastination, blockage, delays. And then the tower, which is about the institution. And then the heart, which is about, the heart is about love, romance, passion, relationship. And then the moon is about illusions, romance, playing cards. I don't think they're locked up. I think they're living their best life, having fun in Italy and rekindling their love. And it just seems to be the kind of person that would never turn against Tomasso. Okay. I'm going to cut away to show you what I do when I come out here to start my read. There's a lot that I have to do to prepare. Yeah, guys, every time I come out, I have to wipe off the chair from bird poop. So that's why I start sitting on this thing, because then the chair is damp. Plus it makes me a little bit taller. Oh, the door from the camera is not open. I gotta get up and fix that. But this segment's gonna come to the end of the video anyways. Enjoy your 4th of July, guys. Have a great 4th of July, all right? Stay safe. Don't do any of those firecrackers. You might lose your fingers.